conspiracy to obstruct justice.
All right. First, hang on, Joe. Okay, first of all, name?
My name is Russell Vernie. I'm the Regional Director of Judicial Watch based out of Dallas, Texas.
And what's your purpose visit San Jacinto County again?
I've come down to San Jacinto County to follow up on a complaint that I made to the Justice Department requesting that they investigate the public officials down here in San Jacinto County. Over the last 2 years, and primarily over the last year, 4 elected officials have been indicted on the roughly 17 charges that were brought against those 4 individuals, either dismissed or not guilty on 16, 1 remaining to be tried yet. Now, just this week we had a dismissal of charges against the district attorney here in San Jacinto County, which is good news. Each of these indictments may have been based upon a crime and should have been prosecuted vigorously, and some of them should have resulted in convictions. But when all of them appear to be based upon smoke and mirrors, and no convictions are attained in spite of very credible prosecutors, you have to wonder why these indictments were brought. And that's what our complaint to the Justice Department is based upon. I have a concern that the criminal justice system in San Jacinto County has been abused in order to overturn public elections. That's even worse than what the Bush versus Gore situation, where just the judicial system was being used to challenge elections. Here you're using the criminal justice system to overturn elections, and I find that repulsive. And if that's what's going on, I want to have the federal officials come in and investigate it, use their grand jury powers, and bring people before the federal grand jury to find out and get to the bottom of what really happened down here.
You got these people all indicted last year, or a little bit of everything. What about the grand jury? I mean, I know you've probably heard about the instructions the judge given the grand jury in private, and someone came forward about that and signed an affidavit to that effect.
There are a lot of odd things that have occurred down here. Any one of them by themselves may not add up to much, but all of them put together seem to paint a picture where there was a deliberate effort to interfere with the grand jury process, perhaps even to obstruct justice, and to create indictments against 4 duly elected public officials for no greater reason than to prevent them from holding public office. And that's an assault upon the democratic process in this country, and that's why I want the Justice Department to come in and investigate here in San Jacinto County.
How strong are y'all trying to push on this?
We wrote a letter to the head of the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department in Washington with a copy to the Houston office of the U.S. Attorney, and we've been contacting the Civil Rights Division branch up in Washington on a weekly basis, urging them to look at the merits of this case and to assign investigators to it. Now, they'll never tell us exactly what they're doing until someday investigators show up in town. That's perhaps the first official word we'll hear when it reaches that level of investigation, but I'm very satisfied with the responses we've gotten so far from the Justice Department.
Does it seem problems like this appear more across the country in the smaller counties, or a little bit everywhere?
Wherever people are not held accountable and responsible for their actions, they can abuse their power or corruption can set in. And Judicial Watch looks for the appearance of abuse of power or corruption in government, and you find it wherever there's less and less scrutiny on public officials, and the temptation is greater and greater, either for financial gain or for the illusion of power, to bend the rules, to benefit individuals. And it just needs vigilance by the public. We can't just go to the polls on election day and forget about government at all levels. Municipal, county, state, and federal have to be involved in maintaining democracy, because all that's required for evil to succeed is for good people to do nothing.